Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Thank you for joining us today. And I really mean thank you. Getting in the practice of saying that more often, getting in the practice of gratitude more often, especially since in the last couple of years, I've learned that it makes a difference in your life to move your life forward. When you're grateful, it's been said that the universe rewards you with more things to be grateful for, i.e., good things. The practice of gratitude. What's the big deal here? What's going on? We're going to talk about that today. She is an amazing life coach, works with people to improve their lives, also does couples guidance and so much more. And she's back with us. Dawn Manderfeld is on the program. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today, Steve?
Super. Yeah, really feeling good. And I don't know if it's the gratitude thing. I will tell you this. I on that computer, shopping out a new gratitude journal because I keep one at home, and I just list three things I'm grateful for every day. Put the date, that's it. And this has other fields that you can fill out, just kind of like hold your hand more through it. Um, I feel I'm grateful. I keep that journal, but this gratitude thing runs way deeper than that. And I'm told it makes a big difference in our lives. What do you have to say about that?
Gratitude is a huge part of a person's personality, character, and how they portray life, really. Being thankful, for some people, it is a learned process. For others, I really have met people that are just really grateful every day, that they realize what they've been given, whether it's what they've seen in their past, what they've gone through. But having gratitude really does make a person's appearance so much brighter and welcoming and peaceful to any room you walk into. It just shows. People glow when they literally are learning or are working on walking in gratitude.
It's almost like a vibe. Like it just oozes out of you. It's the best way I could describe it. I don't know. But you're right. When somebody they're intentionally practicing gratitude or you're feeling it from them where they're saying thank you and they really mean it and they appreciate uh, your connection or what you do for them or with them, business level, whatever it is. Those people seem to be kind of walking on air, like things are good in their life when you really
That's
just take a step back and look.
Yep. I know that for me, I have people go, well, why did you tell me thank you? And I'm like, well, I'm very thankful that you helped me with that today. Well, why would you say that? And I'm like, there have been periods in my life where I did not have people there to really help me. And so I had to make a choice that I was going to be thankful for every little minute that I got through, that I could breathe through it. And I made it through it and I came on top. And it may not have worked out the way I wanted it to, but not everybody has people in their life that are automatically there to help you, that are there to jump on a phone call and say, yep, I'm here for you, you know. So I have learned throughout my life and my past and what my situations have been,
Mm-hmm.
staying thankful is huge. I've had so many people take advantage of my generosity and for a very long time never heard the words thank you. And I thought, wow, thank you is a very powerful word. I know people have told me, Don, don't overuse it. You can't overuse the word thank you. You can't, not in this day and age.
I don't want to agree with you, Dawn, just to agree with you. I'm so on your page, like 1,000%. I even reply with emails and say thank you. That's usually the first thing I put up there. And it's not artificial. There's something to genuinely thank them for. You'll find something. And I'm not even trying hard. It's not like, well, what can I thank them for? It's there. If you look for it and you want to practice that gratitude, it's there. You walk into Starbucks, they made you a really good cup of coffee. a frappe, whatever it is. And you're in your mind, you're thinking, man, this is good today. Why not thank them for it? Why not walk over and say, hey, by the way, thank you. This is awesome. Have a great day. Walk out. We don't do that. I think we're afraid to. Like we're afraid to be judged. But when you do, you change somebody's life, but you also change yours and your vibration, and people pick up on it after you even leave that store or that situation, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because for a client yesterday, I was grocery shopping for her. I help out elderly people and people in hospice while I do this, just because I have a passion for that. It's where my heart can also be. And I was grocery shopping, and there was a lady working there, and I said, "Thank you so much for what you do." And she goes, "What?" And I go, "Thank you for what you do." I said, if you weren't here and you didn't work at this grocery store, then who would be here in your lane to help me get my groceries and get through? I just want to say thank you today. You did a great job, and I really hope you have a blessed day. She just looked at me and she smiled, and it was like her whole face lit up like, oh, I'm doing a good job. Oh, someone appreciated what I did. It's as simple. We all have our place that people need us to be in. And grocery stores, I can't even imagine. I mean, we've already talked about that in a previous podcast, how people can be. But for a lot of people, I've been told that's not a very gratifying job. It's an expectation. You go there, they expect you to do your job, do it right, do it quickly, get them out of there. But I'm thankful for them. Not every store has your self-out checkout. So it's like, it's huge. But she was so taken back by that. And when I got to my car, I thought, wow, I don't know if anyone's ever said thank you to her before, and she's worked there for years. It's kind of sad, but we know how it makes us feel, right? When people tell us thank you for what we've done, it's, man, we need to give it back. We need to remember to give it back.
Doesn't it feel good?
It really does feel good when someone says, thank you. I really appreciate you doing that for me, or I really appreciate what you did, or thank you for calling and checking up. Those words are really, really powerful. And I
Mm.
really don't think you can overuse them.
2 years ago, I remember being in the grocery store, frozen food aisle. There was a older woman on a scooter, and she opened one of the freezer doors and she was reaching for something. I was clear way over on the other side, and I thought I heard, "Can anyone help me?" And I'm like, it was like I was running through an airport to catch a flight. I'm like, jumped over something just to get there to help her. And it felt so good. What else can I help you with? That one over there? Yeah, got it. Okay, sure, no problem. 2 years ago, I still remember it like it was 5 minutes ago because it made me feel good, but I feel it helped her at that moment. The little things are really the big things, but I don't believe we realize them because we're getting caught up in life, and life is getting more and more crazy and more stressful. I just saw a survey that came out that says that we are at the highest stress level of the year for 2024. We're at the point now where, all of us collectively, we're like, I don't know if I can take any more. Well, it's only mid-September. We're already at that point. Why? The economy, the elections, yeah, stress, all of that stuff all together. And I believe that that's why we're not paying attention to these little things or the perceived little things that make a big difference in our lives. Um, Gratitude. What are some of the other ways that we can practice that?
To show up when we say we're going to. We need to show gratitude for places that we are expected to be, that we are telling people we're going to be at. Gratitude is more than being thankful. It's realizing that there are people standing on a street corner saying, I'm homeless, I don't have a job, can you help me? We may not particularly like the job we're at the moment, or the season that we're going through with our job, or even in our life, but we still need to show up. People are still expecting us to show up. Whether they say thank you or not, we're doing it for ourselves too.
Mm, mm. And when
So
you say show up, we don't
gratitude.
mean just show up for your job at 9 o'clock and just, I'm here. It's show up in life with intention,
Yeah.
where if you do something for somebody, you really mean it. It's coming from here. It's not just I'm phoning it in again. It's it really does make a difference. I don't think we could drive that point home hard enough.
Yeah. It's being completely present.
Mm,
Part of being gratitude is be completely present where you're at. Put your cell phones down. Just take a deep breath and clear your mind and be there present for the moment, because you don't know what you're going to get out of it too.
hmm
Like my husband, for instance, he travels a lot, and so he's not home all the time, but when he comes home, even the little things he does, like I come home from work, or I get done with a client and the dishes are done and the vacuuming's done, the dusting's done. Yes, I am thankful I have a husband like that, and he's very much a team player. But I'm like, thanks honey for doing that. And he goes, you don't need to thank me, I'm your husband, we're a team, we're supposed to do this. I'm still going to thank you. I didn't always have that in the past, so that's huge for me. And it
hmm
really has a lot to do with our different love languages. If you want to bring that in, gratitude is one of the love languages. Some people are automatically great at it, some are automatically great at receiving it, some really have to work at it. But we have to learn to be present where we're at. We just, people need to be teachable and need to learn that it's okay to be present. And sometimes it can help us de stress a little. If we put ourselves in different situations and we become present in them, that's where gratitude can really, really start growing in a whole new way inside of us and with the people that we're around at that moment.
Is it really one of the five love languages? I'm trying to remember what they are. It's been a long time. There's certainly things that connect there. Maybe it's there. I don't know. Um,
Well, I think gratitude fits into the one of acts of
Service.
service, acts of service. Um,
Mm.
I read a book, and in acts of service is the gratitude, because when you have that as a love language and people do it for you, you are thankful. And then there's people that just don't expect it, don't really care if they get it or not. But when you keep being yourself, it kind of makes them realize, oh, wow, okay. I mean, gratitude really does fit into everything. Um, no matter if it's relationship, if it's with your job, if it's with your children, it doesn't really make any difference where you are. It is a huge part of how we should be choosing to live every day.
Disclaimer coming. We know life isn't easy. There's stress everywhere. There's chaos. There's challenge. 100% get that. But if you can fit gratitude in along with that, it'll make those things easier to deal with. Um, Somebody shared with me, haven't tried this yet, that if you're going to keep a gratitude journal, which you should, just write three things in there: date, I am grateful for, and three things. He says to do it at night. And when you do it, put your feet on the floor to ground yourself and then write those things. And he claims that you will have a much better sleep, and even said in 14 days, you'll start noticing a pretty radical difference, as opposed to I keep the journal, I write it in the morning. I think it's okay. Be honest with you, I'm not 100% in the moment because it's in the morning. So sometimes I'm just, oh, we're upstairs writing the journal. I'm already one foot's out the door. And I think about it and I mean what I say, but I'm not completely intentional feeling it at that moment with reflection. I'm writing stuff down and I really mean what I'm grateful for, but I feel I need to take more time, even if it's 30 seconds more, um, just to, truly feel it. I don't know how you keep yours, but I'm going to try his suggestion. Can't hurt.
Yeah. For me, the other day, I was talking to a friend, and she goes, the flowers in front of your house are so beautiful. And I said, well, thank you for that. And she goes, okay. I mean, that's the simple thank you. I still get in awe of how many people are like, they give me a face like, why'd you say that? What is that to be thankful for? And I said, ever since I was a little girl, I love flowers. But I have not always been able to purchase them and be in a position where I could have them the way I want to have them. Now I have that. I have someone who enjoys it with me. And I'll tell you what, I get up in the morning, I look out my window and I see all my bright red, orange, yellow flowers in the front yard. And I literally am so full of gratitude that even though I'm at the age I'm at, that just brings me so much joy. And it just makes me want to have a happy day. And that's what gratitude is too. It's learning to have a happy day,
Mm,
and that's a choice. Gratitude is a choice. And something as simple as flowers, something as simple as, oh, God let me wake up again today. Here I am. How can I bless somebody? How can I help somebody? How can I do for somebody what I would appreciate someone doing for me? It's really it really is something that has to be learned for some people. It really isn't natural for some people.
mm. But it's a choice, like you said. Everything we do is a choice. What you're going to do in 5 seconds from now, 5 hours, 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years, you have the choice. And yes, disclaimer again, life isn't easy. Things are going to happen. Things are going to show up. How you choose to deal with them is your choice. You have the choice. And what you said, so true. Thank you is a complete sentence for both sides. Like when say thank you to somebody, you're welcome. That's it. So
Yeah.
many of us, if somebody says, "Hey, I really like that shirt you have on." Oh, well, thanks. I bought it because it was on sale, and then you kind of water it down. You have a reason why, thank you. You're welcome. That's it. We're good.
Well, it took me a while to receive thank yous. I always felt like I had to explain why I had something, like you just said, or explain my situation or something like that. And you don't.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just saying, oh, well, thank you too for noticing that, Um, as far as being a choice, we can still have pretty rough days and still walk in gratitude.
Mm.
Because then at the end of that day, that day's over, you survived it. You can be thankful for that, like you said, at the end of the day. Like, wow, okay, tough choices today, not the best way I wanted it to go. However, I'm still here. I still have all the hair on my head. I still have food on the table. I had a car that got me to where I wanted to be, or a bike, or walking where you need to be. There are so many things that we can have gratitude for and be thankful for that we just take so for granted. It's an expectation.
Mm.
And it's sad to me that so many people don't realize in this day and age, I know people who don't have vehicles. I know people who have to walk to work or have to get a ride or have to pay for something. We need to be thankful if we have a running vehicle. I have been in
Yes.
that position where I did not have a running car. I was a single mom. I had kids, and it was stressful. Like, it was a very, very stressful time sometimes. However, one person saying, hey, I can pick you up tomorrow. Hey, I can bring the kids to school. You learn that, wow, they chose to go out of their way to help you. Now, how can we choose to go out of our way to help somebody else? I mean, when we've been in those situations, I think it's easier for some people. It's probably 50-50. Some people just go extreme the other way and say, well, nobody helped me. I'm not going to help anybody else. And that's how they choose to live. Then there's another group of people that are like, wow, when I went through this part of life, people showed up for me. Maybe not a ton, or maybe a ton, but they showed up for me. Like, wow, I need to change what my expectations are.
Mm. I think it's a little soul searching. You got to take some time to really kind of internalize that. And you don't realize things until they're gone. Example, you talk about flowers. I'm in between houses right now. That was my thing as well.
I
I
love
love
flowers.
landscaping. I would do it all
Yes.
myself. People would say, "Why don't you just hire somebody to mow the lawn?" No, I have an old tractor. I'm mowing it. That's my therapy. I sit there, I get to think, hands in the dirt, dirtiest feet you'll ever see because I never put shoes on because it just felt so good. Trimming things, making everything. You wouldn't find a weed at my place because I just loved it so much. I didn't realize it. And I'm going to admit fully here, I wasn't grateful for it until it was gone, until I sold the house. And then I realized, whoa, that was that was a piece of me. That was wow. That was I should have appreciated it when it was there. And I'll do it again, but take some time. You know, not I'm in New York, bad time to buy a home, and interest rates just went down a little bit, so I'm just waiting for what makes sense.
It
Um,
needs to go down a whole lot more for me, but
say again, I missed that.
I said I know it went down a little tiny bit, but it needs to go down a whole lot more for me to be willing to sell my house and move back out
Uh,
into the country.
oh, I'm right there with you. I mean, you can do 15 podcasts on that, how crazy it is right now. And there's not even inventory where I am. And what inventory there is, now it's jacked up because supply and demand. So just tapping the brakes and just waiting. Um, but that's that was a passion of mine. So maybe there's a lesson there for me and others in that appreciate what you have, be grateful for it. What if you didn't have it? What if? Think about that. Those things aren't there. And I know it's easy to put on the rose-colored glasses and, walk around with, butterflies and sunshine and lollipops and, you know, kind of pretend things are okay. But if you're really intentional and truly mean what you feel, the gratitude is there. Yeah. I have a busted up Jeep, like 24 years old, my junkie Jeep rusting away. I love that thing. And I take it, I go kayaking. I don't have to worry about it. It's like the third vehicle, fantastic, whatever. Well, last year it used to break down and I used to be like, you piece of, Jen. And I was putting negative energy into it. So now I started appreciating it. After I fixed it, put a new serpentine belt in and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, I love you, man. Yeah, it's you and me. We're good. It's been running so well for a year. I swear it's the energy you put in, even if it's a inanimate object. There's something there. Practicing gratitude. And I'm grateful for it. Yeah, it's like it's a piece of my history. It's
Yeah.
still running. Like we're buddies now.
Well, like in with people that I have worked with, and with family and friends, I really try to encourage people. I'll say, "Are you in a good relationship right now? If you are, thank that person.
Hmm.
If they're willing to be a team with you and you guys are making it work, you're going to counseling, doing whatever you need to do because you really do appreciate each other enough to do that. If you love someone enough to say, I do, love them enough to work on it. Unless, of course, there's so much change that it gets to be a dangerous situation. I get it. But it's so easy in this day and age to walk away from friendships. If you have children, maybe you're going through a tough time with them, but you're blessed that you have a child. There are people who are trying and are unable to have a child.
Hmm.
I mean, it's like if there, my list could just go on
I
and on and
know,
on
right?
about how we really need to retrain our thought process of how blessed we really are.
Yeah, it's so true.
There are more blessed people in this world than there are not. And I mean, as far as simple as having 3 meals a day. And it's just, yeah, the world has just really, really changed the mindset a lot of what the expectations are. I mean, kids get out of college, I want a $120,000 job. No, be thankful that you can get a $60,000 job and be mentored by an amazing company to get you on the road to where you truly want to be. Just dealt with that.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that, even. But we need to teach, we need to walk in, and we need to talk gratitude. And there's just not enough people that do that.
The game changer. When you figure it out, and anybody watching or listening this, just let that sit with you. But try it. Let us know what happens. This is just a piece of what you do when you work with people. Gratitude is just a piece of the total sum of somebody changing their life. How does somebody reach out to you, Dawn?
They can reach me at my website, which is livingbb.org. They can email me at donrenee@livingbb.org. My phone number is 952-200-1103.
Beautifully broken is what we refer to with the BB. And you could even be grateful for being broken because there was a lesson in that. There was a lesson in that. Great talking with you. I appreciate you. I'm grateful that we get to talk.
Yes, thanks for bringing up gratitude. It's huge.
Yep. And I am going to remind everybody that Saturday is National Gratitude Day. Every day should be. But anyway, if that's a reason, to put it on somebody's radar and calendar, all the better.
Yes.
Looking forward next time we get together.
Sounds great. Have a blessed week.
You too. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.